It's been nearly 3 weeks, but this man can't erase the memory of the deadly crackdown on protesters in Iran.
Blood smell. It was very, very devastating. I cannot forget that. Blood smell was everywhere, all around the emergency room.
Rasht is not his real name. He's an Iranian doctor, now in Australia, who worked in a city outside Tehran. On January 8th, the first night of the protest called for by the exiled son of the Shah, Reza Pahlavi, he was in the capital for work.
I get a call from the hospital, and one of my colleagues told me that, please come to the hospital and we have a disaster.
He found an emergency room overflowing with protesters gunned down by security services. Dr. Rasht was asked to perform triage.
I can remember that I was just walking between patients and I wasn't paying attention to patients that cried, because I feel that a patient that cries will survive at least 2-3 hours later, and I was just looking for patients that were silent.
Soon, Dr. Rasht was called into surgery.
I think I performed 18 surgeries from 10:30 to 5 a.m. and I think that many of the patients died because the injuries were very severe and the injuries needs prompt action.
Do you think some patients died waiting to get into the operating theater?
Definitely. Between 8 p.m. to 12 o'clock, thousands of people were injured. Many of them died in the street. Some of them were lucky enough to go to the operating theatre, and many of them died inside hospital because of lack of time and lack of medical service.
This woman, who 730 will call Sarah, is one of those who escaped injury at the protests. She's returned to Australia after joining anti-regime demonstrations in a city several hundred kilometers from Tehran.
We saw families, even children. They were taking their hands and they came out. We saw them everywhere. And when you're among them, you're seeing that you're not alone. That makes you feel powerful. No one between us brought even a knife or something to defend ourselves. Nothing, because we didn't want to give them an excuse to kill us. So we get there with bare hands.
The crowd, she says, started chanting against Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, and for the crown prince, Reza Pahlavi.
What happened at the protests after you started to chant?
They pretty soon came to us and they fired tear gas with shotguns. So we know that if they're shooting something, they're going to kill us. And this is the first time that they wanted to punish us with killing us to make an example from us to the rest of the city.
Sarah's group scattered and made it home. The next day, she traveled to Tehran to prepare for her flight to Australia. Almost all communication was shut down, except from the regime.
The only thing that was open was the government's messages. They sent us through some threatening messages like, there are terrorists among the people. Keep your children inside your home. Don't allow them to come out, otherwise they're going to get killed by terrorists.
The second night of huge protests, January 9th, Sarah was in Tehran.
I was hearing the bullets, the shotguns, the gunfire, everything, and it was continuously without any stop. I was seeing that many of the tall buildings, they turned their lights off. They stayed in the balcony. They were saying, long live the Shah, long live the Shah. We were all chanting, and I was hearing the drone was flying around.
All over Iran, the regime's response to mass protests was deadly. This man, who 730 will call Naveed, was in the city of Rasht, about 300 kilometers north of Tehran.
They opened fire on the people. They shot the people. And I think that was the start until 8:30, 9 o'clock. They burned the bazaar. I was scared. Everyone was scared because we had the big shock. We didn't know that the police and the regime will do something really like that.
Naveed says for many people trapped in the city's bazaar, there was no escape.
They shot everyone. Everyone, everyone. They didn't ask the people, what are you doing here? Do you want to buy something? They shot everyone on this night.
Dr. Rasht says similar incidents happened all over Iran. He believes the actual death toll dwarfs official figures, but his calculations can't be verified.
What's your best estimate as to how many people died in those 2 nights of protests?
When I hear about 2,000 or someday later 12,000, it was a joke for me because I realized the number of surgeries performed during these days by asking my colleagues. I know the number of beds available all around the city, all around the country, and I was wondering about the number of killed. I know that with passing time and by more interviews and by more data available from families of the injured people and victims, it will be increased to 40 to 50,000.
As the world waits to see how the U.S. will respond, Dr. Rasht believes, for now, Iran's Islamic regime has halted the protest tide.
The people came to the street. Reza Pahlavi called them to come to the street, and President Trump told them that, I have your back, come, and we are supporting you. And the people rely on this statement, and the people came to the street, and they were killed massively. So, from this point, I cannot think that people have enough energy and motivation to do some rising again, at least in short time.